thing. The trunk just popped open. 1 and 2. When has the trunk ever clicked open?
Never.
Ghosts. Back. Hey, hi, hello. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hi there. Welcome to those of you that are coming back. Hi. The video that you're about to see is us going to the Oregon State Hospital, which is kind of like a insane asylum slash museum. Fun fact, where
yes. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was filmed, one of my favorite movies.
With Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but it's pretty great. The extras, the extras are actual patients.
Just the patients that were still there at
which
the
is
facility.
Cool. So we went there. It's in Salem, Oregon, which is technically, not technically, it is the capital of Oregon. So if you're ever within the Salem area, I would recommend just popping in. We encourage you to stop the video as we go, because there's definitely parts where there's really interesting information that if you don't stop and kind of like read it, it does look cool, but it's also super informative, and if you're nerds like us, then you would really enjoy that stuff. Literally have no idea what I'm walking into or what we're going to go do or see. I just know that it's technically a museum. It's only open for 4 hours. They tell you to plan for 2. Okay, I'm gonna go get a coat. I'm gonna go get a. So we're on our way to go see some stuff. But first, we're gonna go get some food, snacks, and coffee. Okay, before we keep going, we had food. You didn't see that. We got coffee. You didn't see that. We got snacks. You didn't see that.
But there's water.
And I still have my coffee.
I just chugged mine because my head hurt.
Oh. Okay. Man. This is just. Carla wants us to get out. The fuck? Whoa. This is just.
What did you just hit with your foot?
I didn't touch anything. I did not touch anything. The trunk just popped open. I haven't touched anything.
We just pulled up in the parking lot and Carla's already like, the car's all dead.
No, I didn't say shit. I just said the keys are in my pocket. I didn't touch anything. The trunk just popped open. 1 and 2. When has the trunk ever clicked open?
Never.
Ghosts.
Just kidding. We're coming back for you. It's okay. It's fine. It's alright. Everything's fine.
Alright guys, we're here.
We're here.
We're at the museum. This is really exciting. We've already had one experience.
No, we haven't.
We've had one experience. It happened while I was in the car. Jim was there. She may confirm or deny.
I deny.
It popped open.
I deny. Oregon State Hospital. There was a room, they called it the Library of Dust, where they had like over 3,000 people's remains that were unclaimed, and some of them they didn't know the identities of the people. They built a whole memorial outside and took the ashes out of the cans, put them in ceramic urns, but the cans are still there as like a representation of how they were for a really, really, really long time. Well, and now apparently because of all of the DNA and like genetic testing we can do, people are now claiming their like long lost family members' remains, and that's kind of how they have it set up. We're gonna check it out.
Guys, we just got out of the museum. Let's call it a museum because that's what it is. Hospital. There was a memorial that was installed outside. We went to that. The camera died. I did get some on my phone, so that was really cool.
We'll put that in.
We learned a lot of. We saw a lot of things that I
loved how interactive.
I'd never seen firsthand.
Yeah, and getting to look at like all the actual pieces of history.
The direction that they took with mental health early on was not the best. Obviously, we know that, so it's good to see that they still preserve that history here, and they're not
covering it.
They're not covering it up. Some people might consider it, you know, a shameful past, but it's the truth. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. This place is pretty cool. If you guys live in Oregon, check it out.
It's pretty. It's not like super time consuming, but still a very fun activity.
Plan to spend like an hour, maybe 2. All right, so we're back in the car. One of the reasons I wanted to go, like I mentioned, is because it was a known haunted location. What I realized after being there today is that the areas that I thought we were going to have access to, we don't have access to. In 2012, they kind of sealed off and probably updated some of those rooms because it is still a functional hospital. It is open. It's the Oregon State Hospital. There's just a section of that hospital now that has been sanctioned off as a museum,
designated
to preserve all of the history, because this is a historical building. Fact.
Well, that was the part we had access to. We've seen other people film videos, but they obviously must have come at a different time where the access was different, or maybe knew somebody who could get them into areas where we could not.
Definitely would say I didn't experience anything haunted in the museum.
No, but I felt some vibes.
There was interesting vibes, but it's also just being around all of that weird equipment and knowing what they used it for and knowing that it was actually used.
And that a lobotomy was only $200.
And that people were clamoring for it.
They were like, get my mom a lobotomy. That chick is crazy.
For the sake of spookies, I would give it a 1 ghost on the spooky level out of
That's why I was
3.
saying, bring your kids. It's not like, oh, did you see that chair move? We need to leave. There's the devil.
The part that probably has the most feelings is the memorial outside where they have all of the ashes, but again, it may not necessarily be the physical ashes themselves causing that feeling, but you yourself just knowing that you're surrounded with all of these remains.
So
I guess it would be safe to say that they're doing a good job at trying to honor the memory of the people who were at one point in this hospital and passed away here.
Yes. Learning from their mistakes and being better in the present.
All right, so we're driving back home now, guys. Where are my chips?
We got snacks. Those aren't chips, girl. Those are Airheads.
I need chips.
Oh, you want chips?
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Eats. Bears.
Battlestar Galactica.
Chip back. Something we learned about the hospital in the early days, it was actually voluntary admission. So it's not like people were sanctioned there under their will. No, they actually walked in and said, I need treatment. And so it's crazy to know how many people actually voluntarily went there. Of course, once you're in the hospital and they deem you insane, you may not have the easiest way to get out.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, one of my favorite movies, starring Jack Nicholson, was filmed there. And they did have patients as extras in that movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe so. I believe they were literally just like filming in the hospital. And there would be like people working their shifts in like the laundry room, and they'd be filming.
That was the trip, and it reminded me of when you are the kid who actually enjoys like the nerdy field trips, and I felt like I was getting info.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I am somebody who has mental health issues, also known as extreme anxiety and sometimes depression and some slight OCD, and it was just very interesting for me to see how mental health was viewed and practiced back in the day.
And I'm glad that it's not anymore.
Absolutely, because we probably would have ended up there.
Oh, 900% yes. Like, there's no chance I would have not
so yeah, thank you for watching that. If you watched it all the way through, we really do appreciate that. I encourage you to check out our intro video if you haven't. We'll put that somewhere. The link is down here. 10 years ago, I would have told you it's gonna be right there, but I don't think that's how it's done anymore.
Not anymore.
Right, it's like, it's down there now.
But our next video, appropriately, is gonna be how I do my home therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Kind of mental health related there. Check that out next time.
Yeah, I'm also debating including a clip that I found from like 9 years ago of us on YouTube.
Proof that we actually have been on the internet before. I'm not sure. I don't know that you found it because I love watching it.
I couldn't believe I found that YouTube channel. It's so old.
Oh, it's old. All the videos are private. Don't go looking for it.
Yeah, you're never gonna find it, but they're there.
It's there.
They're cringy as hell, but they're there. Stick around, subscribe for more, like it if you do.
Leave your favorite field trip you ever went on when you were in school.
All right, guys.
See you next time.
I said I miss you. I'm going back home to the West Coast.